Radiant team ban.
The sack.
Radiant team pick.
Hello guys, we are finally underway. The Southeast Asian qualifiers for ESL One New York are about to start. Finals, and we've got a cracker of a day for you today. TNC against 123 is our first match of the day, and without further ado, let's get into it. The draft has begun. My co-caster is here. We've been waiting for about 50 minutes now, but X-Musica, this game, 123 against TNC, damn good one.
Oh yes, definitely. Both of these two teams are, I would say, quite evenly skilled and considered one of the top few teams in C right now. And probably would be one of the contenders for Fnatic. So it'll be pretty interesting what they can bring to us today.
Yeah, definitely. TNC I've been watching for, I don't know, the past 5 or 6 months when they really kind of burst onto the scene. And Kant and I, my co-caster for a lot of other games, we instantly fell in love with Hehe, Sam H. They're just amazing players. Unfortunately now, Teehee and Seven no longer with them. They've got Raven, ex-MSI player from the... And ex-Lucky, who was originally their kind of stand-in 6th player, has stood up to the plate.
5 seconds
Play. I've not seen them with this actual roster just yet. Have they played much with these 5 players?
I would say this roster is only about a week old, because recently they were practicing with the old roster for the C Championship, which was held I think a week ago. So this is definitely still a new lineup for them. And I've seen them play quite a bit, but it doesn't seem as if they've lost it has lost their aggressiveness. There's still definitely same TNC we know, just that without their star player, which was T.
Yeah, he was nuts. Like his mid play with things like PL Clinks has been replicated a little bit by Raven. I was watching this morning. They were in a match in another game just before this one. They're still picking Clinks mid. I haven't seen too much Drow Ranger from them, which is kind of their trademark style. But Team 123, let's not forget about these guys. Yamate, Kang, Ben, Minerva, and 343, who of course know incredibly well, seeing you talk to him in the lobby. But Yamate's, relatively new team. Yeah, like you said, contenders up against Fnatic, who really are the powerhouses of Southeast Asia. Teams, kind of interesting that they meet now to see who progresses through, and quite few teams that actually can contend up against them. And TNC actually banning out the Clinks themselves there, but picks and bans so far, nothing too surprising. Spirit Breaker and Queen of Pain, two incredibly important heroes for Team.
5 seconds remaining.
Tusk and Leshrac taken out by them. Tusk and Bounty Hunter, sorry. Leshrac is what I was going to come to next. Yamate on that. Been a while.
Yeah, definitely. Leshrac is definitely one of Yamate's comfort heroes. He's just a mid player that loves his farm. He always seems to be able to get the maximum last hits out of the lane. Always seems to be able to get his items up. And he's a force to be reckoned with once he actually starts getting his farm up. While the other pick, Rubik, is more of, I believe, the Captain 343's comfort hero. He's a really good player of that hero, makes a lot of amazing plays. And it would make sense, considering there is an Earthshaker on the other side of TNC.
Stealing Fissure is one of the fun things you can do. Like, you rank Fissure up there with stealing ultimates and things like that. The instant cast time lays down the rock and makes shape over it. Still seeing 3 banning out against kind of Sam H and AU heroes here, Darkseer and Phoenix. Out. Annoying in the off lane, they can kind of deal with the majority of safe lane heroes. But does this kind of indicate to you that maybe they want to run dual lanes? The fact that Darkseer and Phoenix do draw in a couple of supports to try and handle them.
I think 343 is more of a team where it's either they go triple safe lane or they go aggro try. They don't like to leave their carry alone. They want to ensure that their carry gets the farm that they need, rather than focusing on the opponent's carry. So I think definitely it's depending on what TNC has. I'm looking at what they have now. They have a Gyrocopter. So it will most probably be Team 123 opting for the safe tri-lane option.
Okay, well I can have Rubik up there dealing with that, while Earthshaker on TNC. Well, a bunch of heroes out there that really love having an Earthshaker behind them. Lina, one of them, Shadow Fiend another. Kind of interesting to me seeing them not really picked up. In the European scene, it's kind of very static in the way that drafts are kind of thought. where you can definitely see from start to finish where the Lina comes in, where the Tusk comes in, where all these heroes kind of get picked up. But Gyro Earthshaker, pretty good opening. No clockwork just yet, but could be picked up now by TNC. The Lina is the one real absent hero here, where I'm kind of wondering, Radiant want to pick it up now? It's decent against Leshrac in the middle lane, can spam out the wave a little bit to deal with Lightning Storm, but it's also a good hero against Gyrocopter. The timings you get with Yules and Aghanim Scepter kind of line up with Gyro's farming timings and when he gets into that BKB.
Dire team pick.
I actually haven't seen TNC pick up Lina for the mid lane. It's most of the time for the support player of either, I think, Eel, and he plays a pretty mean fourth position Lina. I mean, he gets his Eel Scepter and his Scepter like pretty much at the same time as a Core would. So Lina is still definitely an option for them. It's one of the better choices against Leshrac, where you can just bust him down before he does any lingering damage. But looking at TNC's lineup, I think they already have the damage. I think they might go for a more aggressive mid laner. bo3 could definitely be one of their more popular options.
bo3 to chase down the Leshrac, and if you get a Blade Mail up on him, you know, Leshrac does not stand a chance with that little guy running up into his face. Go with the Clockwork themselves. He's, again, a decent hero for both teams here, but against the Gyrocopter, again, that Blade Mail item comes up, and
10 seconds remaining.
That Gyro, make sure that Rocket Barrage doesn't do against you, or if it does, you reflect it back onto him.
Remaining.
Dazzle with the Earthshaker, great defensive support duo there. We see this time and time again.
Reserve time.
Yeah. The old Team Empire kind of fail-safe draft. Dazzle plus Earthshaker, you've got defensiveness, but also you can play relatively aggressive with your cores. Someone like a Gyrocopter who can spam out Rocket Barrage and get up into the thick of things. Dazzle keeps live, up and running. And also, you mentioned this Bloodseeker, a Grave on him. If he's running around on low HP, get that Blood Rage on him. He can heal himself up and stay down there. Worrying too much about any nuke potential coming out of 1, 2, 3, but Ember.
Oh, Ember Spirit. Wow. That is a gutsy pick against Leshrac.
Is that going to be going towards the middle lane? Ember against Leshrac. I mean, usually we see this against the PL, you know, the kind of counter there for the Sleight of Fist, but he's got mobility. There's one instant disable really out here from the Rubik, Telekinesis. Hookshot can kind of lock him in. The magic damage burst is there from the Leshrac to get through the Flame Guard.
10 seconds remaining.
There's nothing really to completely hold him in place. There's no hexes, there's
5 seconds remaining.
Single target stuns that will lock him down for eternity.
I guess with the help of the Dazzle, it enables the Ember Spirit to be more effective in the mid game. It's just the laning phase. I have not seen any Ember do well against the Leshrac besides Sumail's Ember, and I mean, Sumail is a different case entirely.
He's a beast.
But generally he's an absolute beast with that Ember Spirit. But generally
Team ban.
I think it might be a Storm Spirit middle now, in a Leshrac safe lane, or even a support Leshrac.
Spirit on Spirit action. And usually when we see the Earthshaker, you know, roaming towards mid, stacking camps and things like that, we kind of think, okay, they can build up bank in the jungle for the Ember, for the Gyrocopter. They can start these stacks and give them some gold later on if the laning phase does fail.
5 seconds remaining.
But Ember loves to be aggressive once he's sort of level 7 or 8, maybe towards 9, when he's got those couple of points in Searing Chains, Flame Guard, and his Remnants. Here, the Storm Spirit's got the elusiveness from Ball Lightning, you've got the tankiness of the Clockwork you can initiate in with the Hookshot. They've also got good reaction heroes. With the Rubik and Lesh, they can actually team in to react to any of these ganks. Ban. Oh man, I mean, I've seen TNC run 4-roll Doom a couple of times in the past, but for a long while.
Doom is actually one of those heroes where if you pick it up, it can be a surprise to opponents, and a lot of times people don't expect it because it's not a popular pick anymore. So I think considering that Team 123 has cores that really relies on the spells to be up, Doom is definitely one of the bands that should be worried about. However, I'm a bit worried for 123. If they are considering putting Leshrac as a support, it might not be able to be as effective because Leshrac really needs those tanky items to be really effective in the fight. If not, if he doesn't have the items he needs, he can just simply die to a Fisher, Gyrocopter ulti,
Dire team pick.
and even Ember going in.
Yeah, he does not have a great HP pool. And Undying really does solidify this aggressive style from TNC. But how does this set up their lanes? because they've got the Earthshaker Dazzle and potentially the support. It could be Earthshaker offlane, but more often than not, it is going to be that support Earthshaker. We even see them pick up a bottle from time to time on the ES roaming around, which is...
10
But
seconds
could they
remaining.
run aggro themselves here? With Undying, Dazzle, Gyro, and then maybe
5
the Earthshaker on
seconds
bottom on his own? It doesn't really seem that great against the Clockwork.
Reserve time.
I think Gyro does perfectly fine against the Clockwork in a one matchup. Alright, it's definitely Electric support here. Yeah, I think General Undying is a good pickup for Team TNC because Team 123 does not have the right click to really take down the Tomb in the early phase. They don't have that hero that have those really high physical burst damage. So the Tomb is going to be able to stay up for a long time, and this will really hurt against Team 123's support combination of Lashrak and Ruby, considering they're both really low in HP.
Yeah, so instead of going for their combos, Telekinesis has got to turn around and focus on that Tombstone. Really disrupt things here for 1-2-3, but I'm really interested to see how these laning phase actually pans out. Raven has picked up the Ember, so heading towards mid, I'm guessing. X-Lucky as well as AU on the Shaker and Dazzle respectively, while Sam H has picked up the Undying. So it looks like they're just going to go for the stock standard. Go for the 1-1-3. Noji on the Gyro will be heading out to the bot lane. Yamate, Wind Ranger for him. Another one of his trademark heroes, Kang on the Clockwork Minerva. As well as 3-4-3 on the Lash and Rubik, and then Ben on the Storms.
I'm definitely liking TNC's draft more. It seems to have a complete balance of aggressiveness and yet the passive defensive abilities that allows the course to stay alive, and they still have the late game to carry it through. So 1-2-3, whereas on 1-2-3 side they have to play it a little bit perfectly in order to be able to get the game into their favor. Considering the heroes are a little bit squishy, and Wind Ranger needs some time to come online, so does the Storm. It's gonna be hard for 1-2-3 to take control of this game.
Yeah, it's interesting. Wind Ranger and Storm, even though they've got pretty good magic burst damage early on, they do take a little bit longer sometimes than carry heroes to actually build up into their items, because they need Aghanims +1. Wind Ranger, the Storm Spirit needs Orchid and Bloodstone, and then head into the Shield Guard. You do need to pick up these items, mainly because their skill sets don't scale that well. They scale decently. They can still get their damage output going, but the Focus Fire can do a ton. I think you're right there. The squishiness of this dire side, you're going to have to try and outplay, get the advantage early on, and I think that's where the Leshrak and Rubik come. Got to get that roaming going. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of smokes expended here from the dire.
Lash and Rubik is definitely a deadly roaming combo. I mean, we've seen VG Gaming use it a lot, especially on the Fenrir and FY combo. They love the Rubik and Leshrak. I'm just worried about whether or not they can really get any ganks in this game, because they have an Earthshaker guarding either middle or bottom. They have a Dazzle with Brave always ready.
Okay, welcome back, guys. The VOD has started up again. Game sounds on. Pause is over. Everything's okay at the moment. They are the words that we want to hear for 3-4-3. TNC up against 1-2-3 here in the Asian ESL qualifiers. I'm Durka. Joining me is X-Musica. We've had a little bit of a long morning already, or a long afternoon or evening, I guess, for you over there. But starting now, and look at this. 5 heroes pretty much up at top. Well, 4 heroes with the Gyrocopter to go down to the bot. But 1-2 spread pretty thinly across.
They can definitely sense it coming. They know that they want to continue. Considering that they have an Ops Vision down at bottom and they don't see anyone. So they're just gonna avoid this and go for the bottom rune. Avoid the movements for now and try to play the game safe.
The battle
Yeah, they've got full vision up at top as well. They see the Ember Spirit heading over, a couple of heroes behind him. Trade-off runes, that's exactly what they wanted, and that's what they'll get. So, very quick observable down at bot. Kang on the Clockwork did get himself down here with a TP, Mobs, and Sentry. Well, there's no block up at top, and I think the main reason Undying is one of the best heroes going in and containing bots that's rather not do it. We don't need to expand that observer there to take Sentry. Look for that laning ward in this area, and even one over here that I've started seeing as well, just laning vision. Yeah, defensive tri-lane, Storm, Rubik, and Lesh up at top. Hazel. Raven is the solo mid Ember Spirit.
Careful.
Back a little bit. Gyro, pretty much going to be in a 1v1 here against the Clockwork. As long as X-Lucky can find these wards, which he's having difficulties.
You can actually see it, he just needs...
Dying has walked into them. Nerva takes a punch to the face. Okay, stacked up a couple of times now. 3 decay. Top there, and AU on the Dazzle. There's some more decay for Savage. The double decay! Whacking away at Minerva. That's pretty sick.
Undying is hard to deal with. It's just a hero where you need to have specific heroes to go against. And even if you have those heroes, it's not a guaranteed 100% that you win against the lane. And if your two supports are not careful, you keep getting the double decay. There's no way you can kill this Undying. He just becomes a nuisance to deal with.
Oh, that's unfortunate. OG? The Gyrocopter tried to get in there. That could have been a kill, I think, on that Clockwork. They got a good Fisher down. Clock had no escape, but he got pushed back by the cogs, and the pathing did a little number on him as he back and forth. Get up into rage. The lane, what we expected. Ember Spirit get harassed out a little bit here by the Wind Ranger. Both got their bottles pretty much. A bit earlier. Stout Shield. Or 3. Dolph in an awkward situation. There's no mana for the Searing Chain, so Raven can't stop him. Like he was going for the Courier Snipe. X-Lucky's doing exactly the same.
Oh.
Go. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody disconnect. Everybody disconnect. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Just what we need for Dota.
Oh, God. What on... Oh, you disconnected as well. I didn't.
Yeah, I did. I did.
There were like 3 or 4 players that didn't disconnect, and I guess 3 or 4 casters that did. Holy crap. Okay.
It's always like this when there's a major update. Oh, jeez.
Okay, well, we'll find out. Right. Starting again. Minutes, 20 seconds in. It's only taken an hour and 23 minutes from scheduled start time. Rubik with boots. He's given up on his little escapade to go and...
So Dazzle actually started with a bottle.
Dazzle? Oh, wow. I've seen this from AU a bunch when he's played Earthshaker. Played Dazzle. He's rushed the bottle. Yeah, the
first time on...
Coming back, one punch. Ah.
No.
Yamate gets his bottle, Raven has his. Flame God going forward, the Wind Ranger taking a decent amount of harass there. Doing until maybe X-Lucky with the Fisher block, but doesn't hit the hero. Yamate just gonna be like, well, okay, nice try, but I'll get some harass down onto you. Searing Chains will slow him down a tiny bit. Regen to keep well down a bottom lane, Clockwork against Gyro. And this lane can kind of go either way. The Clockwork, though, with level 2 and Rocket Flare, he can control the lane a little bit. Rocket Barrage, if you trap him in the cogs, Clockwork is going to get ripped apart by that Gyro.
Clockwork is actually doing really well in this lane. He's got 15 CS up on the Gyro, which is only has 8. He already has his bottle as well.
Oh, wow. 16 for 4 against the... What? That's pretty crazy. They get the Fisher now down onto the Clockwork, but killing him off is not an easy task. Noji just cannot do it. Gets pushed back by the cogs as well.
Noji has to be really careful now. Mana whatsoever.
And no regen. But no HP, very limited mana, and Kang just goes, takes a bounty rune, full bottle up. Races once. Raven gets the haste up atop, but this means that AU does not have a full bottle. Sam H has dropped the Tombstone. 4-3, but Tombstone's gonna die here as long, zombies. Oh, Decay, oh yeah, he's got it as long as he can just throw it onto the Rubik. Blood goes the way of your undying. Sam H getting up in there now. Dazzle moving across to this top lane. But Leshrac sees him. Split Earth starts things off. Ben walks in. Remnants and Vortex. They're going to stop the Grave, actually. They've got the damage. They'll take him down. No! AU gets there with a Shadow Wave. Vortex not lasting long enough. And now Ben's pretty much trapped here. A couple more hits. Not going to land it. A salve. Onto the Dazzle. And the Storm is alone. Next to the Ember Spirit. Comes in and finishes him off. Super sad for Ben. That's what you pay for the aggressive play into a Dazzle.
That was really well played by the Undying. He actually salved up just before the hit to ensure the Storm couldn't get anything out of that. And it's the latest level 6. Ember is really close to his. It could mean rotation to top in the near future.
Even mean kills on this Wind Ranger. She's got a good way of, escaping the right-click attacks from him. The Flame Guard and Searing Chains with Remnants combo, it looks like he is going for, at least the 4-0-4-1 build, where you get the Searing Chains and Flame Guard kind of maxed up for that good burst damage and the magical damage output. Maybe a Sleight of Fist to try and start things off with the Slight Chains. But you've got the Fisher to do that. You've got the Fisher that could come out right now onto Yamate and will block him in. Raven, Searing Chains ready, throws it out. Yamate's got Wind Run and Shackle Shot to try and escape this. The heal comes out, but it's not enough damage. Yamate on the retreat, and there's no level 6 yet for Raven. Shackle Shot will hold him in place. Ranger should be able to walk himself the high ground. Another Fisher here, blocking him in, but no damage really from Lucky, and he's got to be careful actually. A couple of heroes around that could turn his back on him. Kang, bot lane, Rocket Barrage, the Clockwork dropping low, Noji, Battery Soul slowing him down, good. Oh, good cogs. Good cogs, block him out and allow him to TP to safety. He's hit his level 6 as well. Nearly level 7 on this clock.
Clock is playing absolutely insane. He can start making rotations to stop now, where the Undying and the Dazzle are... makes a good rotation, they might be able to get some picks before they start doing any severe damage. And Storm is level 6 as well, however he doesn't really have that much mana. This is really the goal time for Clockwork, where the supports are still low level. The Ember is level 6, but the other 4 heroes are very vulnerable to gank. Oh, and he just missed it.
Unfortunate.
Oh, such a waste.
See, I guess with the Wind Ranger coming in and the Leshrac behind, they could have killed that Gyrocopter pretty easy. Maybe trading off the life of the Clockwork. Well, this is all going on. Earthshaker hits level 3. He's got a couple of stacks going in the jungle for the Ember as well. Up at top lane. Darling and Dazzle, they're looking for the Storm. He's hit level 6, so he's got his Ball Lightning, but he's only on 300 mana, so he doesn't actually have that much. Zip himself away.
Team 1-3 is actually doing the right thing by not stacking.
Call down as well. The Gyrocopter stick charges can't find a kill though. Leshrac comes in with a level 2 Lightning Storm, and the pings get spammed. Kang is salved and bottled back up to pretty much full HP. Rotation, no. Actually come back and save the Gyro. Earthshaker didn't have one. He'd have to make the long walk down there. And this Ember Spirit wants to stay at the middle lane to try and outlast it. This Wind Ranger, get up there in the farm.
Radiant's bottom tower
good start going.
Attack.
But when you look at the last hits, there's 3 heroes from the Dire up at the top. The Storm Spirit, he's in 3rd place, but barely behind the Clockwork and that Wind Ranger. While the Gyro and Undying, the 2 other core heroes on the Radiant side, having a pretty rough time of it so far.
I'm really quite surprised to see the Gyrocopter strike. Apparently, Gyrocopter does well against the Clock, considering that he's not really scared of being just cocked the barrage. But he seems to be struggling quite a fair bit, so Kong has been really just last sitting and playing, using his mechanics really well. And it's that 1-2-3 doesn't have any stacks. I think in a way it's smart as well, because they know that TNC can just stacks, where it stops the momentum from TNC. And the supports are leveling just fine, with the Leshrac being level 5 now.
Oh, they've caught the Gyro again. With the Fisher, the cooldown will come down, and Noji looking for the kill, but they don't finish off Kang. Even a second cooldown. Ember's here, you're right, Minerva is going to get slaughtered, but Searing Chains didn't catch. The Clockwork on the side.
he should have gone for the Clockwork instead of the Leshrac. The much more valuable during Clockwork, the highest net worth, right? But still not too bad. They at least got something back. Gyrocopter.
Clockwork is level 8. Nearly on his blade mail, he's about 800 gold away from it. With this Ember Spirit, Shreds and his little Wraith Band, Ben has switched things up, headed down to this bottom lane, while the Wind Range is now up atop. And the Storm, you know, he can go and clear through single jungle camp at a time. He doesn't necessarily need a big stack. Usually he's got the mana pool just to go from sort of camp to camp, and they've got a couple of, single stacked camps there, so got something to fall back. Ranger. Got phase 1,000 gold. Item though, and what would you prefer to see here? The rushed Aghanim Scepter, or maybe a Maelstrom, or even a Blink first?
I would definitely go for that. I would definitely prefer the Aghanim Scepter pickup. They don't really need to rush in a sense that they don't really need to for TNC's hero to pick off. What they need here is to ensure that they can sustain themselves. They have damage to win the fight if TNC starts getting over aggressive, and Scepter on Wind Ranger gives just exactly that. With the HP from the Point Booster and Ogre Axe, the damage that comes from Ultimate, it's really just a valuable item. And after that, he can start deciding whether he dagger or not.
Yeah, I guess you tank yourself up against that initial burst damage out from the Radiant, the Fissure, the Rocket Barrage, Call Down, and Searing Chains. If you can tank through that and actually cast your spells, 1, 2, 3, yourselves in a good spot in this team. Nerva, hiding off to the side. This Leshrac looking for it again. Level 5, the level 8 Clockwork. Throw his little hook shot out. They're going to dive into the jungle. The Gyrocopter has been missing for a good amount of time. No, he's farming across here, so Noji coming. People have gone missing off this bottom lane. There was a Clockwork here, and now there's not. Here too, and this is just not where you want to be as the Gyro. You want to be safely farming in a couple of places at once. You want to be down at bot lane, then moving into the jungle, and just cycling between the... Even want to have taken this tier 1 tower at bot, which has not been touched yet because of the great time this Clockwork's had. Like 3 things there that Gyro really hasn't achieved yet. Don't see them. I wonder. Can Kang scout out the Gyro? He did this little loop around, and they know where they are.
They're definitely thirsty for blood.
Top tower is under attack.
The Radiant are going to smoke themselves up here as well. Yeah, 3 of them smoke from mid.
Yeah, this is definitely the right play. Ember needs to start making movement around the map for the Gyrocopter to catch up. If they leave the situation as it is, the Gyrocopter will not be able to get anything at all. So this is the right move, TNC. But however, I don't think they are going to be able to find anything. 1, 2, 3 scouting it out.
Game of cat and mouse here from both sides, pretty much.
Radiant's top tower has been
One
denied.
team runs around looking for a kill, the other team runs back. Top tower gets denied out by the Undying. And yeah, guys, I know about the left ear issue. We had it last night with Ryu, I think. I'm not sure what's causing it, though. I don't know how to fix it. So I apologize for this. I've got no idea what's actually happening there. I'll get the tech guys in after this game, though, to see if we can get that resolved. Something Mixer, I think, that's causing a bit of a problem. Now, Observer Ward is placed over in those Ancients to block them up in case the Gyro wants to start stacking. So a nice little Observer
he missed
Ward.
again.
Oh, Sam. He's been caught with a Vortex there. They'll lock him down. It's just a simple takedown. There's nothing too difficult about that. And the Tombstone's down. Clockwork missed hook shot on bot lane. Oh, he's even got his Blade Mail. That would have been an easy 1v1.
Yeah, that's the second hook he missed on the Clockwork now. Would have been 2 kills. But, they're trying to kill him, yeah.
Oh, Fissure blocks him on the wrong side. Ang will escape. But that's Call Down gone. That's the Gyro on half HP and got in 30 seconds time. The go here. Minerva's behind him once again. This Clockwork plus Leshrac. We've seen more of the Clock plus Lesh than we have the Rubik and Lesh. The combo which I thought would come out here. It's kind of switched up a little bit. Rubik been spending a lot of time dying to the Ember Spirit mid, but now maybe a TP away. He's not gonna make it. Close though. While over in the jungle, oh man, Noji Gyro, no, you've been caught. Rocket Barrage with a Blade Mail, maybe turning this and killing himself off. The Rocket Flare will finish him, and Sam H, he's run into death. The TP out from the Clockwork will save him. Remnant, Raven, he's found Minerva. Shackle Shot not going to latch here, and this might be an opening for Raven to get the slight, and he will. Chains to follow, and Leshrac drops. Got a trade-off.
trade-offs are just not worth it for TNC. They're committing 4 heroes just get the Leshrac, whereas just the Clockwork and the Leshrac that is getting the Gyrocopter. 1, 2, 3 is just getting the better out of this trade every single time with just and it should have definitely been Leshrac combo, but however, seeing that the Clockwork got his level 6 so quick, matter of the Leshrac was able to come down and just stand beside the Clockwork and just be ready to gank the Gyrocopter anytime. And right now, Gyrocopter is having an easy time at all. He's just still struggling to get his first basic item up. I don't even think he's going for drums anymore, he's just for Dange, which is a really bad situation.
Finish off Treads, then go into SatuDuaTiga or something like that, and just self up as much as you can. Difficult as a gyro like this. One of those heroes that excels in the mid game. You want to be fighting, 10 minutes until the end of the game pretty much, just fighting and farming in between. But if he's not doing either of these, the actual concept of the hero is kind of going to waste here. OG find his space, but who's there to create the space when you're being jumped like this? The Undertaker's caught by the Clockwork hookshot in the middle of his own jungle. 1, 2, 3 have such a firm grasp on the map. They've got such great fluid movement from lane to lane. The TNC just don't know where to go. They've got Undying and Dazzle who want to be playing, pretty aggressively, get up in the face of people. But they don't have that hero to walk in and do the damage just yet. Ember Spirit needs time to get into his Battle Fury. Now is one of his power spikes, with Searing Chain, Slight, and the Flame Guard to actually do damage. But 1, 2, 3 are at such an advantage in hero levels and item progression. Like, Yamate's nearly got his Aghanims done. That burst damage you get from the Ember isn't as powerful as...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
1, 2, 3 is just playing this so well. They know TNC's plan is to just get objectives in the early game while the Undying is still really strong. However, their movement has just been preventing that. They've just been using 2 heroes to stop movement on both sides of the map. The Clockwork and Gyro constantly trying to hunt out the Gyrocopter, and the Rubik just standing in the lane, ensuring that Ember doesn't get anywhere near. And the Wind Ranger just constantly power shotting up at top. It just makes it so hard for TNT to get anything done. Really limiting their movement.
Running pretty quickly down to this bottom lane. The Invis Storm Spirit scouting them out. TNC are so far back behind their towers though. Super defensive. Raven heading into. The Ember Spirit's got himself a Yasha. Is that going to be straight up Manta style from him?
That's interesting.
I guess the Storm Spirit is going for an Orchid, so he's preempting that. That's not where you want to be, is it? It's something you have to do rather than something you really want. That Manta style really delays the rest of your items pretty significantly, and now Lightning Storm out to slow down this push. Not only are they taking towers, but 1, 2, 3 are defending their own. They haven't lost a single tier 1 here, and the brute force power from TNC, it might be there. But they don't have the fighting power to go in a head-on-head. Storm and Clockwork are here and ready. The hookshot, they're going to start lining this up now. Kang gets himself in position. They've got the angle, they've got the line, they see the gyro, but the Lightning Storm is on the back end. Ember Spirit's jumped in the middle of them all. He will remnant himself away before getting a kill, and the cooldown will land onto the heads of a couple, but Kang, he's in there with the Blade Mail. Graves saves AU, and now the Sleight of Fist. TNC, they're actually doing a decent amount of damage, but again, the damage doesn't mean anything if you can't survive through what the enemy are throwing at you. The zombies slowly but surely take out the Leshrac. Yamate, the Sleight of Fist, and Raven gets himself another kill. 5-0-2 up on him while it's Rocket Flares flying. This fight was actually pretty good for TNC in the end.
Okay, it looked in favor of 1, 2, 3 at the start, but it turned out to TNC's favor, considering that they're behind. Getting those kills on the Ember Spirit is really big, and it just contributes down to the fact that they were not able to take down the Tombstone fast enough. As you could see, the Tombstone up for at least a good half of its duration, was just destroying Leshrac and top. Oh, it's fine. It was just destroying the Leshrac, the Clockwork, and just hindering their movement. And even though the Gyrocopter got nothing out of that, the Ember definitely got a lot out of that, and is a lot closer to his Manta Star now.
Up to 8,000 net worth now, and it's what we were talking about pretty much straight after the draft. The Leshrac and Rubik both had to kind of turn and face and fight the tombstone while the zombies were stacking up on them. They couldn't throw out the combos that they wanted. Just it's such great disruptive ability. Stop these heroes from throwing out spells, from getting the initiations and turns that they want. Now, even the Undying finds himself a mech on top of Arcane Boots. 20 minutes in, he's not looking too bad. And the pretty rough start that TNC had. Down by, what, 4,000 net worth? That's going to start climbing up a little bit here, because it gives them room to breathe. That one team fight, not only did they get themselves a good amount of gold, but Clockwork can actually farm, Gyro can actually farm the jungle without Clockwork being up in his grill all the time. He's got treads, he's got his drums done. And sure, it's not the best. He's sitting sub 5k net worth 20 minutes in. You kind of want to be up at the 7 to 8 mark, and then go and take some stacks and push you up to 10 by sort of 22 minutes. But judging by the start he had, this is pretty good.
Yeah, this is definitely a good recovery. This is definitely good recovery for Gyrocopter. He's steadily getting back into the game, even though it's a pretty late drums and Aquila, but it's better than nothing. And Thomas is having quite a rough time considering the start he had. Generally, when you're safe lane Storm, you'll be looking at around a 16 to 17 minute orchid to be done. However, he doesn't have his orchid yet, and it's very likely that Ember is going to have his Manta before the orchid. So even if he gets his orchid up, it's going to be useless because he can't really keep the Ember down. And that is kind of a big problem, because in orchid in general, it's like kind of like a double-edged sword for Storm. It gives you the catching ability, but at the same time it makes you really vulnerable to ganks, or even in teamfight, because you don't have that HP pool. That's why generally Storm prefers the Bloodstone build. So the Storm really needs to be careful of how he plays right now.
Oh god, who are they going to find here? They've found the Leshrac over on the side. Yeah, Ember just jumps around, finds that kill. They would have loved the Storm spread. Oh, Clockwork actually with the cogs there. Will block the advance, but it won't stop the Remnant hookshot back onto his creep wave. They're going to dive this though. The TPs could come in thick and fast. The split push is happening. It's Clockwork. TP's out! He gets himself away, and this opens up the map for Yamate mid. Yamate bot lane and 343 at mid, who has a Flame Guard level 4 pushing in. Earthshaker just bought himself a blink.
Oh wow.
Where did he get that from? Like, it's a naked blink, brown boots, magic wand, and blink dagger. But that's perfectly fine. Oh, the mass TPing Yamate. He wants the tier 2. He's going to get it, but Fisher comes through now with a blink forward. And Champ Totem with Samage here. They have it. The Rubik behind them.
They don't have mana on the Earthshaker.
Don't really have a core hero to jump forward either. No Gyro, no Ember Spirit to actually keep up and catch the Wind Ranger.
TNC is definitely doing really well to recover from the start that they had. They've managed to keep the gold graph stagnant. That is still quite an achievement considering the start, and 123 has to be... Right now they're still in a good position, considering that Wind Ranger is really close to his Shadowblade after his Scepter, and Storm has completed his Orchid. They need to be careful though. It's not as if TNC has a bad late game potential draft. With the Ember and the Gyrocopter potentially going big, those two heroes can definitely stand well against the Wind Ranger in the Storm.
Yeah, and then Dazzlegrave as well.
Yeah, definitely. And what they need to be looking at more objectives now, considering that the Wind Ranger has the Scepter up ready. They need to either look to get a Roshan, and after the Rosh they can consider getting the mid tower, sorry. Or they need to start adding more pressure on the map, because it's not good to keep the pressure at this pace.
And I guess with the Storm Spirit, they've got a good way of stopping the split push from Ember, because Ember now, he's going to be looking to sit on a lane pretty much, keep a defensive remnant there, and Manta out of any Orchid jump on from the... Get the Orchid Vortex, and you have, let's say, a Rubik and Leshrac behind you, can burn through that Ember Spirit pretty quickly, especially if Flame Guard has just expired, or he doesn't use it in time. Can kill him while he's split pushing away, so Raven... Oh, he'd love to be split pushing away and farming into that Battle Fury. Aidless. Wary. Weave here from the other 4 members of TNC, though. They've jumped forward. They found Kang. Raven on the front, and now with a stun, the Pitcher catches him. He can't TP away. Throws the hook shot.
It might be Rosh here.
Got Medallion on the Dazzle.
Oh no,
well, I guess
not doing it.
Without lifesteal on the Gyro, maybe they're a little bit wary that they can't do it. As they may be like. Shadowblade, what are we going to see? Ben has run forward looking for someone maybe hiding behind the tier 2. He's over with the rest of his team. TNC moving like a 5-man squad now, no longer split up, no longer like headless chickens running around wondering what to do. They've found a plan, they're following it through, and Yamate goes invis. Still, do they know he's even there? Doesn't look like they do.
Yeah. They still don't have answers for the Shadowblade. Might try for this though, Yamate.
Oh, the shackle latches, yeah, they've got it. Split up, now telekinesis Orchid, does he get enough? He's got the mech, he's got the heal, he's got the Remnant away with a sleight of fist. Ben jumped in as well, but the Ember gets himself out safely, just about. Good Fisher lands on 2, he's got the Echo as well! In the middle of the 3 of them, 3-4-3 ripped apart, and Ben left alone to his own devices. Storm, run your little ass away. Raven graved up, and he should be able, no, he's got no Remnants left. He's got no Remnants left, but he's got the heal from Dazzle. Tower hits the weave, keeps him up and running. That bonus armor, absolutely critical here. As TNC destroy 4 of them with nothing in response.
That was so big for TNC. Technically, 1-2-3 did the right play. They used the Shackle Shot to go on the Ember, and the Storm went in to stop the Dazzle from graving. However, the Earthshaker was there with the timely Fissure, and even the Undying with the mech and the Soul Rip kept the Ember alive. It's just enough time for the Ember to Manta, side of Fist, and Remnant away. It's just overall really good play by TNC. 1-2-3 really needs to be careful of how they take the fights now.
That's given Jaro basically his full BKB. Greaves on the Undying, looking at 1500 gold until the Ember has his Battle Fury. They're actually, like, I'd say they're pretty far ahead. Well, you know, they are definitely ahead now by a good, what, 2,000 or something like that? So that 4K lead gone in an instant. They've got to do something drastic to pull it back. Maybe a smoke. Find someone, catch someone off guard. The Gyrocopter would be a good shout. Or do you think that they just continue, like you said, split push it off and dodge these fights? Because there's definitely some wind in the sails of TNC right now. These fights are going to come thick and fast. If 1-2-3 push, get their farm going, defend the Storm up at top, and keep the Wind Ranger alive, you know, that's going to work for them.
They definitely need to continue the pushing. Oh, Embers might be in a bit of trouble. It doesn't have a Remnant ready.
They've got the Orchid and the Vortex, and here's the gank I was talking about. Manta through, hook shot misses, Raven, he's got his escape, Remnant 1 and Remnant 2. He can jump into the trees, he's even got a regen rune to get back up to full HP. He looks like he should be okay. Even drawing in a little more as Raven TP's out just about.
Oh, so
oh
close.
My god! The Leshrac was prepping, he was pre-casting Split Earth onto the Remnant just in case the Ember jumped to it.
That was a really ballsy play by the Ember, but it paid off. Because the Ember's Remnant actually ran out at the very last second. And if they timed the spells perfectly there, the Ember had no way of escaping. However, they 1-2-3 misplayed by getting onto the Manta Illusions and actually using the lift on it as well. So they had nothing to actually keep the Ember in place anymore after that. And this is getting a bit dire for 1-2-3. They can sense that the pressure that they're getting from TNC. They know that their late game might not be as strong, and they're just really starting to do these desperate movements.
And when the Ember Spirit is like the prime target for you to take down, you do a 4-man gank onto him. You know, a few misplays here and there, obviously, but still, the mentality. You didn't kill him, you couldn't kill him. Try it again. We'll try and go for that play again, and maybe time you actually execute it. Full potential. Bottom lane, the full push is coming in though. TNC 5 men grouped up, Dazzle as well as Earthshaker, both the back lines. Got that Blink Echo available once again. Raven up at the front. With this tower, he'll finish off his Battle Fury. Sitting at 12,000 net worth.
Dire structures are fortified.
Look like they're going to be defending this. Kang is pushing up at top. A couple of heroes here just to try and spam out the waves with Lightning Storm and the Power Shot. Ben is scrambling to get his Bloodstone. Even Ball Lightning into the creep wave here to try and push it out a little bit harder. So they'll forfeit this tier 2 down at bottom lane. There's no real reason to defend this because they do have a bit of momentum building up at top with the Catapult, 3 range creep. With a shackle shot onto Raven.
Dyer's
Let's stop it.
bottom tower has fallen.
Is this a Roshan for TNC? That's the question. Nope. Instant response. We defend our lanes. We get back to the tier 2s and we make sure that there's no more pressure here.
Yeah, rushing in a situation would be pretty bad for TNC, considering they might lose 2 tier 2 towers. However, 123 knows that right now they don't have the damage to actually contest into TNC. Considering that they have the mech, they have the sword, they have the heal from Dazzle, Brave, they might not even be able to kill one person if they commit everything. So what they're doing now is they're just trying to farm up as much as they can. Oh, and Ben, he just got punished.
I was not expecting that. I'm just like casually watching Ember Spirit farm and about to bring up he's got his Battle Fury done. Well, so what did Storm do? Try to push the tier 2 up at top a little bit too aggressively?
He tried to take down the tier 2 because it was really low and the Echo Slam just came from Earthshaker.
I think the left audio issue has solved itself for now, but it's a little bit annoying that it keeps back. Try and fix that. Apologies again, but the push into middle lane, Ember Spirit Battle Fury clearing through these creep waves pretty quickly. Lightning Storm will try and slow them. Without your Storm Spirit for 20 seconds, he doesn't have a buyback. There's no glyph. There's actually no glyph here for the Dire either. Gyrocop drop on the front lines, Medallion on him, Greaves are ready as well, and that Tombstone, the perfect deterrent. Bonus armor comes out, Weave is ready in another 6 seconds time, and Dazzle has a Glimmer Cape. They've got all these great utility defensive items out from Dazzle as well as Earthshaker, Blink Echo to counter-initiate. That once again, like we said, these cores, the Gyro and Ember, if they get themselves into a very forward position, find themselves in the midst of things, they've got the damage output, they've got the spread and splash damage to actually output onto 123. They are a little bit fragile, a little bit, but they've got the guys behind that they don't really care too much about Storm Spirit Orchid, about the Clockwork. You know, his Aghanim Scepter's up, but will the fight last long enough for him to actually use it?
Yeah, this is the thing about having the Leshrac as a support. He can give you the utility stun and the lightning storm, but he can't actually be in there to deliver the damage.
Oh, Raven. He's seen it. Is he gonna jump? Nope, he doesn't go. He jumps now. He gets in there. Storm gets it though. Tombstone is down with a cooldown as well. They're just being shredded here. Kang with a blade mail. There's nothing they can do. Storm is up on the high ground and zips himself away, still with the Aegis the Immortal. But that fight, holy crap, it came out of nowhere. They've got him as well. Yamate, no Shadow Blade. He can't go invisible. Raven with one-sided fist, he'll finish off Yamate. Or maybe not, jumps to the creep wave. Yamate, he has a chance now. He has a chance, Shackle Shot. Well, he doesn't get away. And no buyback on your Wind Ranger. This might be middle racks.
Really, that was really big. Even though 123 got the rush kill, the TNC just came in and contested anyway, and with the cooldown from the Gyro, the flash damage from Ember, there was nothing they could do to stop the advancements. And right now all they can do is just try to harass the wave as much as possible. Really not even tempting the creep.
They might lose more heroes here though with the cooldown of Fisher. They've got one. Rocket Barrage is stolen by 343, but Rubik is on the retreat out and he doesn't really have the support he needs. Ball Lightning Storm back and forth. Get that though, Sleight of Fist and chains onto the Clock and Storm, making sure that they can't regen up in time. Raven has been on point in this game with this Ember Spirit. A little bit worried about laning phase. Pulled out all the stops here, 10-0-8. Not died a single time against the potential here from being roamed on at level 1, and they never really did that. Rubik and Leshrac were permanently up at top lane. They didn't put any pressure onto this Spirit mid at all.
Yeah, that's the thing if they're dying, they had to stay at top in order to farm on Storm. If they leave top lane for like even a while, then dying in the desert will probably charge down your Storms, find that your Storm is getting nothing. So that leaves for the mid lane, knowing the Ember knowing that they can't really pressure him and dying up there, he was farm. He was free to do what he wants, but still regardless, the Ember has been playing absolutely amazing this game. He has been on point with all of his steering chain combo and all of his movement.
They're gonna get another one. Yeah, Yamate's caught. They've
they don't have any
detection. Maybe he can cleave through the creep wave into him. Nah, the sentry's dropped way too late there. Yamate does have that weave actually stacking up on him. 13 now. The armor and Ben. On the front lines, you've got Aegis Immortal. You're jumping onto Raven with that Orchid Silence. Now the Vortex, but Kang has jumped onto Sam H. Tombstone dropped on the high ground here. Perfect positioning. Yamate trying to focus it down with that BKB. He will not get it. He misses uphill. He turns back to fight it. But at this point, your team is already dropping low. Storm's gone. The stolen Tombstone tries to turn it back, but Gyro focuses it down. And Minerva trapped in the chains. And death ensues. They've lost Aegis, they've lost Electrak. They have to go back to Fountain to regen back up. Meanwhile, you look at the Radiant, they're full HP, they're full mana. They've got Soul Rip, Greaves, they've got heal galore. And even with the Storm jumping in like this, he's not really doing that much damage to them.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Don't have the damage to do with TNC. The lineup is not just not giving enough damage to strip through TNC skills.
Oh, good shackle. And the focus fire, but the chains hold him in. The Glimmer Cape going to try and save him with a Soul Rip as well. Noji still surviving through it all. The Grave onto Dazzle himself as Raven just goes in behind the tier 3, trying to crush through them all. Ben zips himself back. Raven finally dies the first time this game. And Yamate, it's like he's actually escaped with that kill unscathed. Sam H. Yeah, deep behind enemy lines. Deep behind enemy lines, and they don't get the tier 3. They don't get the racks, and the Clockwork has hookshotted here onto this little Dazzle with the dust. They've got another. They've got the Dazzle. He can Grave, he can heal, but escaping is going to be really impossible. No TP. Maybe tries for the heal and Glimmer Cape. Stick charge is there, but one final click in. The Glimmer Cape is invisible. But where does he run? Where does he hide? Apparently you cannot hide. Power shot, ball lightning, and down you go. Bloodstone is now up for Storm.
Gave enough time for Blood charge as well.
See, they lose a fair amount in that fight. That Ember Spirit, how much gold did he give away?
Way 1,200 gold.
Oh man.
That is a fat Ember Spirit.
Well, what was he? He was 1109 before he died. His 10,000 lead here for TNC is going to drop a little bit. They didn't get an objective out of that fight. They did take Aegis the Immortal. They got a couple of kills. Find the tier 3. A little bit ballsy there. I think the big thing is they didn't have the Blink Echo. X-Lucky couldn't find the time or positioning to actually jump in with that Echo Slam.
That was actually really big for 1-2. They, in a way, they fought really well. They spread it out. They ensured that none was cluttered up together to prevent the Echo Slam from coming. And Yamate actually got the Raven on the Ember Spirit, which gave him a bounty, which brings him close. This Crystallis, I assume that is going, Daedalus. They really need the damage right now to find on the winner. And if they can hold out 1 to 2 more fights, you potentially see one back into the game. However, if TNC goes back again and themselves well, it's really hard for 1 to take those fights.
Yeah, and now you've got Crimson Guard on Sam H. That physical damage obviously going to be a little bit. And I'm looking at this Dazzle. And I'm seeing 4,000 gold on the Dazzle right now.
Oh my gosh, Dazzle.
What? He's 1, 2, and 6. He doesn't have a massive amount of kills or assists or last hits. It's just the bonus gold from AoE. What do you even buy? Do you finish Solar Crest? Do you look towards a Hex? Because I think he's gonna die up here. Does have a couple of people behind him.
Crest would be a good option, especially for the Wind Ninja.
Ben, he sees. They don't see him. Oh. The blink forward. They're looking.
They're going for 3-4-3.
Forward, Ben. Storm Spirit is in a precarious position here. And now I jumped on the Dazzle. There's the Sans. There's a Glimmer Cape to come out from AU, but he might burn before this even happens. Grave at the very last second. Now Ben, he's out of mana. The call down with the Echo Slam, and down goes the Storm Spirit. X-Lucky shackled up with the Focus Fire, taking him low. But the heal comes in from Sam H. Yamate cannot find the kill. The very last second he does, but he loses his own life in exchange. And for that one little Earthshaker, they lose their Storm, Wind Ranger, and their Rubik.
That was... Storm actually wasted so much mana before going in.
Whoa, Raven? He's being hook-shotted, but yeah, he's okay. Get healed up by the Soul Rip. Reeves in 15 seconds, and even by that urn, look at the heal. He was on a third of his HP a second ago. Instantly back up to pretty much full, 90% HP. Tier 3, definitely dead. Storm, going for the zip again. Wind Ranger forced to buy back here. Over on this track, just trying to force them with the Lightning Storm. Yamate lining up for a shackle shot. And with the hook shot, maybe this is going to give him the angle he needs. Cogs, no, it's going to block them out, but the steering chains comes with a sleight of fist. Yamate still biding his time, waiting for this movement, waiting for the time to go, but Raven jumps back and he's wasted the focus fire. Gyro does die, and the tombstone is down. Without the gyro, do they have the power here to actually fight up against this? The Dazzle, yeah, he's gone. No time to grave. Cog back, Sam H drops as well, and this is 1-2-3, finding a pretty good fight. Raven, he's got a remnant in a second's time. He can try and throw this to escape. But chances here are limited with the third hook shot from Kang. Catching him in the vortex at the last second. Fisher, the Orchid, manted out, but Cogs push him back.
That was really well played by 1-2-3. They used the storm zipping in and out to bring the gyrocopter low, and with the Leshrek's firing spell, they just constantly brought him down. And Yamate was actually entire time, so to ensure that the tombstone wasn't able to keep the support down. Really, there was just a clean win of fight for.
A Demon Edge for Yamate. Guessing the Daedalus, like you mentioned. MKB
He probably is going for the MKB.
I guess that, yeah, Talisman of Evasion over on the. Or an Aghanim Scepter for the. Actually.
It's actually really good considering how much armor it gives. By the time the full duration takes into effect, Radiant will probably. Dire will probably be minus 40 armor.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount. Or you turn the other. I guess you want to use it aggressively rather than defensively. The Weave plus Flat Cannon is such a good combination. Oh, they've seen it. Yamate, do you have a way out here? He pops his BKB. He can try and TP, but no. Storm snatches the Aegis. They did kill off the Roshan, the Radiant did, but Ben, he gets himself the shiny red item and the secondary life, but they lost their Wind Ranger for 80 seconds. This devastating for them. Middle lane is pushing in. They're lucky that their side lanes are actually pretty far across. They're meeting at the river. But the Radiant don't really care. They can walk through mid, go up to top ranks. Even think they can take tier 4s and they go for the safe option.
With 50 seconds, they could probably take all 3 lanes here. 1-2-3 knows that they can't fight without the Ranger. All they can do now is just spam them out and hope to be able to repel them for as long as they can.
Well, they've taken another lane of racks. Clockwork. Your plan. Your route of entry. Apparently you don't have one. As TNC do back up, maybe a pick off here as they're looking for it. Kang out a hook shot. Copter's in the vicinity as well, and he's pretty much got his butterfly done. He wants to pick that up right now. Well, this attack for the moment anyway. 18 seconds until Wind Ranger's alive and kicking. Just keep spamming out these cogs. They're pushing into bottom lane without a creep wave. But Raven should be able to get up here, spam down this little wave, and Tombstone again dropped for the deterrent. 343 has yet to steal anything. Butterfly on Gyro. Decided 1 lane of racks is all they really wanted. That's all they came for. Back up, push out the side lanes, and now they've got some serious momentum going. If 1 lane was difficult enough for the Dire to actually defend up against, possible.
Yeah, 1-2-3 actually did the right thing. They didn't panic. They didn't try to defend the top racks when they knew they just waited it out, spammed them, and waited for the Wind Ranger to come back. So now at least they have 1 last rack to defend, rather than being team wiped at that point of time and just losing the game entirely. However, it's saying that even though the Aegis snatch was, they really need the MKB badly on. Without the MKB, I don't see how they can deal with this gyrocopter. Especially since Solar Crest is up on the Dazzle as well. Looking at like almost 50% evasion on gyrocopter itself. Not going to be bringing him down easily. And that could really serve as a big 1, 2, 3.
I'm still awed by this Dazzle with 13,000 net worth. Honestly, he's nearly as farmed as the Wind Ranger. It's actually ridiculous. And now he's got himself a vitality.
Third position Dazzle more than the Undying.
And that's what it looked like at the start as well. He went for that bottle rush. Sure, there was a lot more farm priority going on to the Undying very early on. Then, full running around, trying to cause a little bit of havoc here. And again, the Radiant don't have a good way of insta-locking him down. They've got a Fisher. They've steering chains, but they don't have that instant disable unless he stands there and tanks a Fisher and Rocket Barrage. They just gone. B. AB plus butter on the Gyrocopter. Ton of damage. What did Raven go for next? He finished off a Skadi and Crystallis. Not only has he tanked himself up, he's got that buff to slow people down from the Sleight of Fist. Also got that crit cleave. Back up a little bit. When the initiation comes in, you see the Leshrac and Rubik kind of standing together, walking in. Get that secondary wave of damage and stuns. Blockwork jumps in with the Storm. The Wind Ranger's always off to the side as well. Cleave damage isn't that difficult. Whoa. What? Dazzle just bought a Vanguard. I thought the Vit booster was maybe for like a late game Hearts, maybe a Rod of Atos. They've already got a Crimson Guard.
I guess it makes sense against Overeem, but at this point, any other item he gets is just luxury. He doesn't need any more items.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I want to tank up a bit, guys. The game's nearly over. Let's play a Vanguard. Raven starts up. The Shackle not going to latch here as Ben. Not going to get caught in the cooldown. Good sip over the side. BKB up as well. Noji tanking through it all, though. They can't bring him down. He spams at a flat cannon. He's pretty much got them all. Ben drops. Buyback available. 40 seconds, but Echo comes through. 343's dead with a Leshrac, and that's it. Triple kill for Noji. Kang on the front lines. Hook shot into him. Gyrocopter trapped in the cogs now, but he's got the Undying with him. Pushed back, and looks like he might be able to escape this with a Soul Rip. He will. Rocket Barrage through, and they've killed off 4. Ultra kill for Noji. As Ben, maybe he's going to be the Rampage. GG is called before it can even happen. Looking for the trade-off kill onto Dazzle. But TNC, there we go. There we go. Rampage onto your Gyro. 1-0 here in this best of 3. TNC taking game number 1.
That was it just went downhill for one so fast. It looked as if they were doing so well in the early game, and suddenly one bad fight led to another, and TNC just
had the game in their grasp. They had the map control. They found the picks. The Clockwork was playing out of his mind.